All right, a couple of more headlines for you here as we continue. A team of Texas Democratic lawmakers is now stepping into this story, demanding the release of the 5-year-old boy who was taken into ICE custody with his father. You remember last week here in the Twin Cities, specifically Columbia Heights. So 5-year-old Liam and his father are being held at a detention facility in Texas, just outside of San Antonio. We heard from the feds last week that this is, they say, a family residential center, which is the least restrictive of the facilities. So yesterday, this Texas Congressman, Joaquin Castro, visited with Liam and his father, and he shared a photo on social media. And then in an order filed on Monday, just to let you know as well, district court paused any removal or transfer of Liam and his father until the court process plays out. However, the order will also keep the father and son in the Western District of Texas during those court proceedings. The family's attorney has claimed that the father is legally in the U.S. seeking asylum and disputes ICE's handling of those arrests. We called down to our station down in San Antonio, and it looks like there was a press conference yesterday that this Congressperson Castro gave, and so we wanted to play you a piece of that.
Liam Ramos should be released immediately. I would first like to describe to you our meeting. We met with he and his father for about 30 minutes, how that meeting went. We sat in what was the courtroom. You can see from the picture that I posted that he was lying in his father's arms. His father said that Liam has been very depressed since he's been at Dilley, that he hasn't been eating well. I was concerned with, you see how he appears in that photo with his energy. He seemed lethargic. His father said that Liam has been sleeping a lot, that he's been asking about his family, his mom, and his classmates, and saying that he wants to go be back in school with his classmates. He's asked about his backpack and his cap that he was wearing when they picked him up in Minnesota. I let him know that his school and his community, his family, and our country love him and we're praying for him. I told them that we would do everything that we could to get him out of there.
That's right.
I demanded from ICE that they release him. I told them that most of America wants Liam released and that he should really be released immediately. But the sad tragedy of all of this is that Liam is emblematic of the inhumanity of our detention system and ICE operations. There are many other kids just like Liam who are in detention as well, and Jasmine and I met with many of them and their family.
And you may remember this, of course, that image of 5-year-old Liam. It happened in Columbia Heights. It was earlier this month. His school identifies him as Liam Ramos. They, according to the school, say that he was taken in his driveway, and then they say he was used as bait to lure his family out of his home. Meantime, Department of Homeland Security said that agents were trying to detain his father during a targeted stop. They say the father ran away and left the child behind. They said that efforts to return the child to his address failed, and they said that no one would answer the door there. They also say that Liam's father did eventually request that he be reunited with his son and that they were then sent to Texas. So we'll continue to follow that story as well for you.